What's up, nerd geeks and gamers alike? It's Nerdy Nick, and I'm back with another video. Surprise, surprise, I'm back from the dead. I may not sound like your normal self, or my normal self rather, because this week I've been battling a sinus infection and slight ear infection. So I'm hopped up on antibiotics, a antihistamine, a little nose inhaler from Flonase, and all kinds of other stuff. But I can't not make this video. In this video, if you saw in the title, are my predictions for AEW Revolution 2022. Let's get to it. So yeah guys, I've been down and out like this entire week. Monday, Tuesday, I started to feel like uncharacteristically tired, like going to bed at like 7:30 every night. And then Wednesday, I woke up and felt like I got hit with a buckshot lariat from Hangman Adam Page, and I was down for the 3 count. Thank God it's not the global plague that's going around. I've been tested like 3 times and I am so tired of swabs going up my brain. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the card. So for this year's Revolution, for the pre-show, we've got the first match of Hook versus QT Marshall in a singles match. Now, I know Hook has got a hype train as long as the Great Wall of China. So I'm just gonna give it to Hook. He's been on a devastating run. I'm not necessarily a fan of him. I mean, I just don't get the whole hype behind him, but I know he's, you know whose son, and I just think they're gonna give him the win. It's gonna be a challenge for him because QT Marshall's been around for so long and he is such a seasoned vet, as they say. So I'm gonna go Hook. I'm gonna go submission. And that's that. On to number 2. For the second match in the pre-show, we've got legit Layla Hirsch versus Chris Statlander. Now this feud has been going on for a while. They were friends, then kind of not friends, and then now they're definitely not friends. I love Chris Statlander. I think her gimmick is really cool, you know, being a space alien and whatnot. And I love her group that she's a part of with Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends and whatnot. Danhausen now, gotta love that Danhausen, very nice, very evil. I'm gonna say Chris Statlander wins. It could go either way, honestly. They could push Layla Hirsch to be more of a heel and then give more story for that later on. But my gut is telling me that Chris Statlander is gonna win. Probably by pinfall. There you have it. Now, on to what I'm assuming is the first match of the actual card for Revolution. We've got the House of Black featuring Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews versus the Death Triangle with Pac, Penta, and who was just revealed last night on AEW Rampage, Friday Night Rampage. Don't miss it. It's an amazing 1-hour block of pro wrestling. It leaves you wanting more, but just like anything fun, you gotta stop at the peak to give you that sense of like, oh gosh, that was amazing. Anyways, like I was saying, Eric Redbeard, aka Eric Rowan, back in his old WWE days, is part of now the Death Triangle. It's a 6-man tag team match. I'm gonna say that the House of Black wins, but not without taking some losses. Now hear me out. I know Eric Redbeard is a giant freaking monster, and Penta, I mean, it's really foolish to bet against Penta, and especially Pac, who's like just a monster. But there's something going on with the House of Black that's building up to be kind of like, in my opinion, how the Dark Order was presented when it was first building up. And I really feel like there's going to be more members to the House of Black that we're going to see start trickling in. And I just think that they've got more of the momentum behind them than the Death Triangle. The Death Triangle is a tag team that comes and goes and isn't really like a solid stable. So I'm going to go ahead and give the win to the House of Black. And I'm going to say Brody King will get the pin on Pac. Never know. We've got the undefeated, undisputed TBS Women's Champion Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti. Jade Cargill's like 28-0, 29-0, and Ty Conti's feud with Jade hasn't really been like something worth following. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that Jade is gonna keep this run going. I mean, I don't really see it anywhere that this can go with Ty winning. I don't really see a narrative being built. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that Jade is going to win in dominating fashion. She's probably going to get her ass kicked, I'm not going to lie. She probably will take her licks and her chops. But at the end of the day, I think Jade is just going to use her brute force and power to completely dominate the ravishing Brazilian. Now, next up, in the 6-man tornado tag team match, it's going to be pretty wild. We've got the AHFO featuring Andrade del El Idolo, Matt Hardy, and Isaiah Cassidy versus Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, who is your TNT champion currently, and Sting. I'm going to go ahead and give this win. Ooh, well, I was confident until I was just thinking about it. There is some beef between Sammy Guevara and Darby Allin, and it was kind of shown in their 3-way title match last night on Rampage. They were opponents last night, and now they're going to be team members tomorrow or today, whenever you're watching this, for Revolution. And there was some beef there at the end of the match, and Darby Allin refused to shake Sammy Guevara's hand. I mean, I can see Sting being like the father figure and being like, no, this is our match, we need to win this, you get over your bullshit, and we're gonna win, let's go. Also at the same time, you've got Jeff Hardy presumptively coming to AEW not too long. So I don't really see the AHFO really lasting that much longer, because I think the Hardy Boys are going to have a reunion and become a tag team themselves, disassociated with the AHFO. So you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give the win to Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, and Sting. I mean, Sting is God tier in AEW, which he should be treated as such. He should be that feared monster that just, as soon as he comes out, he's got that presence about him. He's got that persona about him that makes all the heels just kind of like tremble in their boots and run out of the ring. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to them. Who gets the pin? I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Let me know in the comments down below who gets the pin or submission. Let me know. Now next up, we've got a 3-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship with Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus Red Dragon, which is Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, versus the Young Bucks with Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. There is beef all around this match. This match smells like a butcher shop because of how much beef there is. Now let me say that I really hope that Jurassic Express wins. I love me some Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I do feel like Luchasaurus doesn't get featured as much in the matches as it's always about Jungle Boy, and I kind of feel like Luchasaurus gets nerfed a whole lot in the matches. He does have his moments, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something about him that always makes him move a little slower. I know he's a big guy, but he's an agile big guy. He moves around pretty well. I just think if he sped up some of his moves and didn't look so fragile out there, and I know that's kind of an oxymoron, right? Because he's big, strong, but he looks fragile. When I say that, he takes damage, not like a big guy takes damage. He takes damage like a little guy takes damage, and he gets stunned and is out for quite some time during the matches, and I don't really understand it because he's a freaking dinosaur. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give that to Jurassic Express. Now, if something does happen where they lose the title, I very much think that there is going to be a giant feud or split between Red Dragon and the brothers Nick and Matt Jackson, because they are buds, but now you're putting these friends in a competition, to be champions. Now, if one of them wins, oh boy, there's going to be some giant feuds just oozing out of this. Because, like, not to mention, there has been rumors about a trios or a triple tag team division, like a legit one with a belt and everything. And if Kenny Omega comes back and joins the Young Bucks and becomes part of their stable, and then you've got Red Dragon and Adam Cole in their stable, you've just divided the elite, you know? And then what happens when, like, the Good Brothers come by? Like, who are they going to team with? You know what I mean? So it's going to be wild. And then you've even got the freaking Blade, who's made his presence known in AEW. So, man, this is just going to be crazy. I think it's going to be really nuts. But like I say, I'm going to go with Jurassic Express. Next up, we've got Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson in a singles match. This match has so much on the line as to where this story is going to go. Because if you're following AEW on Dynamite and Rampage, you know that Bryan Danielson really wants to form a team with Jon Moxley and show these young talents up. And Jon Moxley says, well, you know what, I don't team with anyone I haven't bled with before. So we can go a couple of routes here. We can go Jon Moxley beats Bryan Danielson and says, well, why would I want to team with you? You're weak, I beat you, blah, 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 right? Or Bryan Danielson can beat Jon Moxley, earn Moxley's respect, and form up. So, I mean, it could go either way. I'm going to go, because, I mean, since both of them have come back, I mean, since Jon Moxley's come back, he's looked unstoppable and healthy and just ready to tear shit up. And then you've got Bryan Danielson, who has been pretty much on fire, has taken a loss to, like, Hangman Adam Page. But, I mean, I'm gonna go with Jon Moxley over Bryan Danielson. Guys, next up is gonna be a battle for the ages, as we've got Chris Jericho facing Eddie Kingston. This match has been brewing and has caused some drama within the Inner Circle, making Pride and Powerful, I think is their tag team name, or yeah. Anyways, they've been taking Eddie Kingston's side as they have more of a history with him, and it's kind of sad to see AEW's first NWO type of stable kind of just diminish. Now, Chris Jericho has said, you know, like, if I beat you, you'll get my respect, I'll shake your hand, but I think somebody needs to let Eddie Kingston know that pro wrestling and promos are kind of scripted, and that it's not necessarily real. I mean, this guy is someone who just takes everything to 100. I mean, I kind of think Eddie Kingston's gonna tear the shit out of Chris Jericho. I don't know if Chris Jericho is ready for what's coming for him. I do think Chris Jericho's going to take the loss here. I mean, I just really don't see it going any other way. Yeah, Chris Jericho, he might be more skilled, more talented, might have more experience, but Eddie Kingston is just fucking brutal, and he's there to take the pain. He's not one to shy away from it. And I think when it comes to big moment matches, at least in AEW, Chris Jericho, I mean, lost to MJF like twice. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Chris Jericho isn't the feared villain that he once was when AEW first started going into his Le Champion run. He looks a lot better. I think he's taken a little bit less of the bubbly. But I'm going to have to give this to Eddie Kingston, man. I just really think that the Inner Circle is going to kind of just completely disband. And, I mean, you've got Sammy Guevara doing his whole TNT title run. And you've got, I mean, where's Jake been? Jake Hager, whatever he goes by. Is he getting ready for a Bellator fight? I don't know, but I think Chris Jericho's on his own here, and I think he's going to take the loss. Man, this is such a stacked card. I mean, I think I've gotten about halfway through now, And now we're at the Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future AEW TNT Championship match against Sammy Guevara, if he's still champ by then. This ladder match involves Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, Wardlow, and Christian Cage, who just qualified last night on Rampage. I mean, you've got Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Wardlow. 3 huge dudes. And you've got Orange Cassidy, Ricky Starks, and Christian Cage, who are there to kind of mix things up and not just be a giant big man Godzilla match. This, I mean, the way the storylines have been going, I'm gonna give it to Wardlow. And that is just going to boost his way out of working for MJF, who is not better than anybody. I doubt he'll ever see this, doesn't fucking matter. But I honestly think Wardlow's going to win. It's going to be, I think, between him and Keith Lee. Honestly, Keith Lee is 2-0 in AEW right now. He's brand spanking new. Taking a loss here in the ladder match, I don't think is going to hurt him any. I think he's going to do devastating damage. And I think him and Powerhouse Hobbs are going to have an awesome little tango going on inside the ring here in this giant match. I think Christian Cage is going to do alright. Ricky Starks is probably going to team up with Powerhouse Hobbs, but I think Ricky Starks is going to get... he's probably going to get worked pretty hard. Orange Cassidy, I mean, this guy is so skilled with his hands in his frickin' pockets. And then maybe that Danhausen, very nice, very evil, curses somebody and they just get jacked. I mean, who knows? But honestly, I'm going to give this one to Wardlow, and I think Wardlow is going to become the TNT champ. It's only a matter of time before he becomes the AEW World Champ. So, there you have it. Then next up, we've got a singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship title between Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Thunder Rosa. I think it's time to give the belt to Thunder Rosa. Britt Baker has done awesome as a women's champ. She's done great turning heel. And it's been kind of shown, though, without her 2 goons, she's not that dangerous. She's not that great. Her goons run all the interference, right? And I mean, of course, she's going to get the wins and whatnot because of what they do, and the refs seem to be blind, you know? I mean, they could probably work in the NFL and do just as good of a job as those refs. But I think it's time to get a shift in the women's division. And I see Thunder Rosa being the only legitimate person to dethrone Britt Baker. I can see this turning into a feud, turning into a rematch, and then even bringing up some more talent, more challenges, or challengers rather. And I think Thunder Rosa is just going to elevate the Women's Championship even more. And AEW has a stacked roster, and I would expect to see Thunder Rosa face different opponents. And I know AEW has a ranking system. I would love to see different women climb that ranking system and offer a proper challenge. I've loved what I've seen with Britt Baker, but I think it's time to change things up a bit. So I'm going to go Thunder Rosa here. And for our co-main event, we've got CM Punk versus MJF, Numero Dos, in a dog collar match. This one, guys, I think is going to go either way. CM Punk is awesome. He's CM Punk. I mean, he got bloodied up on this past Wednesday's AEW Dynamite because, you know, Wardlow kind of gave MJF his little diamond ring. MJF cut CM Punk's head open, blood spewing everywhere. Blood, guts, and ass, baby. And kind of awakened something within CM Punk. I know everybody loves and praises MJF for his heel work, his mic work, and just being that villain that is so good. I hate MJF, and that's how I know he's doing a great job. Whoever MJF is behind the curtain, away from AEW, in his personal life, I'm sure he's a great guy. But when it comes to pro wrestling, I can't stand the guy. And that's how you know he's the greatest heel. He's the greatest. Like, you got props. Props. But I would love to see CM Punk put him in his place. And I would love to start to see the downfall. Or trip, stumble of MJF. Because I think it's very clear that Wardlow is going to bounce out. And I think MJF losing to CM Punk would only hurt him even more. Alright guys, and here we are. The last match of the evening. Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. Personally, I like Hangman as the champ. I think he's doing a great job. I mean, this guy's story and build-up to winning the championship was long, and the payoff was well worth it. And this guy doesn't shy away from crazy. He doesn't shy away from any opponent. Just look at his match with Lance Archer. That was one crazy-ass match for free on cable TV. It was nuts. But guys, he is facing Adam Cole, baby. I'm going to give it to Hangman still. I think he still got it. I still think he's got plenty of juice left in this title run. And I think him beating Adam Cole, well, mind you, I mean, sure, size, looks, whatever ain't everything. But can someone tell that fucking stick to work out a little bit? I mean, his head looks bigger than his fucking shoulders. Like, stop spending your money on a spray tan and buy a fucking protein shake and go lift some weights, bro. Jeez. I mean, if I were staring in a ring across from you, staring at you across the ring, whatever, I would be like, okay, you can try, but I'm pretty sure I can just flick you away. You know what I mean? I'm going Hangman Adam Page here. I think he's gonna fucking dominate, and I think he's just gonna wreck the house down. And that's it, guys. This is my AEW Revolution 2022 prediction video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, who you've gotten these matches. Are you going to be ordering the pay-per-view? I know I am, and I'm going to have some of my buddies here, and we're going to chug some beers and watch the madness. AEW pay-per-views never really leave me like, well, that wasn't that great. What a waste of money. Anytime I've ordered AEW pay-per-views, it's always been awesome. And I expect nothing less than tomorrow's stacked card. I mean, Revolution looks like it could be a freaking WrestleMania even, you know what I mean? Like this is a stacked card. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to give this video a like. Give me a sub if you're brand new. I do wrestling takes every now and then because I love pro wrestling and it's just a passion of mine. I had to convince myself to do this video and to get it out to you guys because I'm like super sick still and I've been blowing my nose in between every other take. Excuse me. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm putting up with my lackluster performances with releasing content, but I'm gonna try to be better at this, guys. It's just life, craziness, everyone's got their sob story, whatever. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Carry on, motherfuckers.